Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here, and this is some 2v2 action scrimmaging, trying to find a new partner kind of gameplay going on. And if you've been following my tweets and YouTube messages and such lately, you've noticed I have been in a scramble, really, to try and find, a new partner for this event coming up on the 26th, which is a 2v2 MLG settings LAN. And, I would love to take Pilsner, but unfortunately, he is busy, can't seem to make it, which puts a downer on things, because, me and him definitely enjoy playing together and, enjoying the COD series. And win or lose, he's still a great teammate to have on board, but he can't make it. So, I've been desperately looking for a new guy to show up with me to West Edmonton Mall. And False Perm here is our applicant. He is on the other team currently. We played quite a few games tonight, and this is the first game I actually had him play against me. Now, lots of people do tryouts many different ways. And this is kind of terrible right there. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta wonder what's going on, and that's one of those moments. But here's a nice, stun off a spawn as well. Gotta time those spawns accordingly and follow up to know where that spawn's gonna be and then take him out. Poor False Perm getting the respawn D. But back to the topic at hand. Tryouts, many people do them many different ways. And to be honest, it's really difficult to find somebody that's gonna vibe with you and be able to hold their own, especially in, one of their first events ever, which can be nerve-wracking in itself. So, definitely practicing and scrimming together is a big obstacle that you have to overcome to be able to choose that partner, to make sure that he's going to not choke when it comes down to the end. And, False Perm, for the most part, he's rough around the edges. He's pretty green. No game battles experience, so that's not really working to his advantages. And also his work schedule might be another factor if he can even come to the event or whatnot. But a lot of people, there's a lot of good people in the area, so if you are interested in maybe partaking as my partner or even showing up yourself, I'd love to see who else is on board and who else would possibly be interested in teaming up with me. So if that's you, if you are interested, please feel free to hit me up. This is we're coming down to the wire, only 2 weeks left, so I need to know ASAP so I can get on board with getting into scrims with the new applicants, seeing who can do what and how good can they do it. So let's break down a little bit of the gameplay. QP and myself really working in tandem here. I'm pretty much doing all the directing, where he should be, go here, alright, grab flag and whatnot and such, and it's working out. And there's another spawn nasty nadeski, and that worked out very well. We timed it, appropriately to make sure that the spawns were not going to catch me in the back, and QP was in a correct position to counter any of the cutoffs in my immediate, distance, vicinity, and so forth. Now, QP himself is really been trying to get involved more in scrims. Same with I am RA Noob or whatever. I think I prefer RA Noob. Just gonna throw that out there, Mr. Nooberson. But a lot of people are definitely trying to make the transition lately, and I applaud that. I definitely like to see more people getting on board with the competitive side of things. I really should have picked up that kill a lot sooner. That would have saved QP's life. And right here, I chose to go right down Danger Alley again, and it might not have been the best decision, but it worked out. I went directly to where my teammate was going to spawn, in hopes that he could cover me had any issues arise. And with 23 seconds left, they weren't going to catch up too quickly, so we're just kind of holding it down, 4-1 lead. Just playing off of, the headset right there. He's walking over the grass, making a little bit of noise. And a good call-up by QP himself. Scrims is always a lot of fun. Definitely more fun than pubs. And I enjoy it thoroughly. So, what else to talk about? I need a partner, man. We've got to come down. I got to figure out. I don't want to go down there if I'm not going to have a partner. So, yes. Second half. How does the game change on this half of Villa? Well, any good team. I want to talk about something real quick. 2v2 is a lot slower paced, and it's 100% more methodical and strategic. You definitely need to nail down, where you're going to go, where your teammate's going to be, and you have to avoid getting 2 down at all cost. You don't have the luxury of waiting on backup, your teammate, to, maybe take care of your reckless, push into spawn and then getting taken. You don't have that at all. You need to be in a position to win almost every gunfight you're going to get into if you want to be successful. 2v2s play a lot, I don't even know, a lot more campy, I guess you could say. People definitely don't move around nearly as much, and right there is another try to tag team. QP took the hit, but I followed up with a nade and then get taken out by the respawn, which was good play on on False Perm's position there. It came right out of spawn and nailed me, and then grabbed that flag. I don't know if he makes it all the way back though. And yeah. So he did grab flag, he just decided to go the complete wrong way. So that didn't work out for him. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, the pace of the game is a lot different. It's more campy, yes, and you need to really be in constant communication with your teammate and just kind of direct things a lot better and really get a feel for where your enemy opposition is going to be. Because, one good placement and that guy could take out both of you and it's game over on that flag cap. 7.5 second respawn is a long time. Monster coming out of nowhere, nailing me, and then QP able to mop it up, finish it off, and then just barely taking that kill as he didn't even see him until the last second. Well, I guess they both didn't see each other, which was, luckily. Right here, I don't know where I stunned him, and he just disappeared, and he was obviously up on statue, hindsight 2020, but, on the moment, coming here, grabbing the backstab, QP picking up the other, grab a flag, and going! Gonna run like a Kenyan all the way back to my flag, and take out the obvious position there. What else? Fail nade. How fail is that? The random jump up climb, I don't know what that was. So, other game types, we're going to be practicing, obviously, Damo and capture the flag, and we definitely need to practice search and destroy because, I would have had second place at the last LAN I was in had my search game been on par with, some other teams that were there. I really did not follow up with my search game at all, and right here I just get dookied on. Monster playing really smart, just waiting for me to pop back up instead of going for any sort of, burst kill. But the respawn's going to hurt them here, I think. Us being so close to the enemy side of things. And False Perm, picking up, trying to learn a little bit, trying to get cutoffs. QP pushing up ahead. We're going to try and snag the little flag carrier dude. And I had something else I wanted to say today. That Homefront video is doing phenomenal. I have no idea how that happened, but thank you very much for checking that out. I'm gonna end this on a question. What do you guys want to see uploaded next? Do you want an MLG breakdown gameplay of what we did wrong, or would you like some more 2v2 action, with some other partners, or would you just like some regular gameplay of the team, New Breed team? Or would you like just call-out game? Just a game where we're playing and you just get to hear all of our communication. The choice is yours. Obviously, if you're sticking out this long listening to the commentary, I didn't bore you to death today, which, is a little bit different because I don't usually do 2v2s, but hopefully you enjoyed what I had to say. And if you're interested in my partner, or being my partner for the 2v2 event coming up, please let me know as soon as possible. And yeah, that's kind of it. 5-1. Yeah, 5-1 on this game. False Perm not having the best of luck, and his inexperience kind of shows up here. But you know, it's all a learning process. Hopefully he's able to bring it back. And right here I get a nasty 2-piece spawn kill. Great stuff for a 6-1 on Villa. Capture the flag. Anyways, false perm. Nice try. 7-22, you know. We gotta step it up, bro. Gotta step it up. Anyways, I'm out of here. Holiday Doc out.